Hey, welcome everybody to another Lean Built video. I've got Emilio here and Yayo here. Say hi, Emilio and Yayo.
Hello, everyone. Nice to see you again.
Uh,
Hey everyone.
Today we're going to go over our project timeline. Let me give a very quick explanation. As we started on this project, uh, we came to find that there was a lot of different variables going on, a lot of different timelines happening, and a lot of those timelines had dependency with each other. Emilio has created this amazing timeline that's guiding all of our efforts as we move forward with this project, and it's aligning several different teams as well and the efforts of those teams. So, like our team, the design team, the owners, everybody starts to see how everything interconnects here, and we can see some pretty critical things that are out into the future quite a ways. So, the purpose of this tool really is to see the future. This is our crystal ball for the future. It's very high level, but that's okay. We're fine with it being a bit on the high level side because we're looking out far into the future. We've got some other videos coming up that get more granular with the stuff that we're working on in the short interval plan, but this is more of our long interval planning tool. Quickly, let me zoom in here on how this works. I'll give you some idea of the format here. So if we zoom in, you can see we've got a swim lane here for the design process, and I hope everybody can read some of the words on there. You can see we've got some overall durations with milestones at the end for that design process and how it comes together. We have our construction process starting, and then you can see here's a very rough construction schedule that's just big chunks of time, but we get to see when those milestones are and how they interconnect with everything else. So if I go back here, you can see we have the municipality entitlements. We have some logistics planning that we're doing, estimating, getting our trade partners on board and finding the right trade partners to partner with. We've got our internal processes that we have going on. And we've got several more things. If I zoom way out on this, let me just zoom out a whole bunch. You can see we have multiple years, multiple phases of this project all coming together into one timeline. So it really helps us to see how everything comes together. So let me zoom back in here. And Emilio, if you want to just tell us a bit about how this works and what you've created here, I would love for you to get some of your insights into how you actually did this.
Yeah, of course, my friend. Well, first of all, I want to recommend you to use this kind of tools because this is a visual way to see how is everything happening and how is everything involved. Because sometimes we know like every process separately, and we don't know how this is actually related with the other processes, right? And when we have like some delays in something, we are actually affecting other stages or other scopes of the project. And with this tool, we can see it. So, Kevin, if you please zoom in a little bit. Here we have like some diamond shape that shows our milestones or things that are pretty important to have. Then we have some shapes that are rectangles that are bars on time, and this shows the durations of certain activities. And we have lines that you can see there, that these lines are the relations between different scopes or dependencies, right? Like for instance, for in order to order switchgear, we need to have like some electrical design ready so we can order the switchgear. This is just one example, and we see like the different colors, so it's a visual tool for everybody to understand how this is going as well. And another thing is that it's very important to involve the right people here and the right teams and ask the right questions in order to have real information here. If so, that's why you can see some question marks in certain tasks. So these marks means that we are not 100% sure that this is, or even the duration or the right place on time, right? And this means that we need to ask the right people. So this is a collaborative tool. This is not working on a silo. In order to have this in a successful mode, we need to have the right people involved and have everyone agreed with this timeline.
I love that. Let's talk about the switchgear for a second. So, for instance, we used this tool to figure out some issues that we had with long lead procurement, particularly with switchgear. So you can see the design process wants to release switchgear at this point. We have this connected way over here to our construction schedule. So we can see when we are getting switchgear. We can also see this down here. This is when we want switchgear. So we actually want switchgear to help us with construction way earlier than the current design process. And you can see this red switchgear timeline at the top of the screen here. So if we wanted to get that switchgear as early as we want on the construction side, we would need that switchgear to be released far earlier, right, than what the plan is currently showing. So it allows us to bring that to everybody's attention to help try and get the answers that we need for early electrical design, for maybe an early release to get switchgear, or what are our other options? Can we expedite switchgear? How much time is that going to shave off the lead time? How much does that cost? We can start to put together what the real ramifications are for these kind of disconnected timelines. They're generally disconnected. And Emilio's done a great job here of connecting them so we can see. It's a visual tool, like he keeps saying. It's a visual tool to see what's actually happening. And the whole team can get on here and really understand what we're trying to do. So that's awesome. How do you record this info? Can you talk a little bit about how you got to this point, Emilio?
Yes, of course. Well, the first thing, as I said, is to involve the right people and the right teams in the conversations. So one thing that we do is to attend to all the meetings because we have the different scope. Like for instance, the design meetings that happens every other week. We attend to those meetings and we really pay attention on that and some dates that they may say or some durations that they mention, right? And we take notes and we record all this information, and at the end of the meeting we update this timeline, and if we have any questions we follow up with the right person.
I love it. So that you just got to put in the work. Like you got to be in the meetings, you got to be paying attention, and you've got to be listening for activities, predecessors, durations of time, handoffs. And anytime you hear that between team members, you're taking those down in notes and we're bringing them in here as soon as possible. Yeah.
That's right, and if we have some questions we need to ask these questions.
I love it. Okay, well, I hope that gives you guys a view of what we're doing on this Lean Built project to see the future out ahead, where we can see roadblocks early and we can understand the complexity of those roadblocks early enough that we can remove them before they actually become a problem. So appreciate you guys. If you guys have any questions about any of this, please don't hesitate to reach out. We're always here to help, and we'll talk to you guys on the next one.